Hello, this is the Bible in fewer words. We are Carol and Steve Wells. This is episode 98, Judges, chapter 20. If you enjoy this podcast, consider supporting us at patreon.com/BFW. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Carol.
I'm hoping that we don't have to be as somber as we were last time.
I think the worst of it is over.
Okay.
But we do have to remember a little bit about what happened last time, or this won't make sense in this episode.
For me, it's front of brain right now.
Yes, but not everyone maybe has listened to the last episode. If not, you should.
Yes.
Because this one is going to be a continuation of the last episode. In the last episode, we had
a Levite priest.
A Levite, and he had a concubine, and he was visiting someone from the tribe of, in the land of the tribe of Benjamin.
Gibeah. Yeah.
And so he stayed there, and everybody in town came to...
all the men in town.
All the men in town wanted to have sex with this Levite. And the person who was putting him up said, no, you can't have him, but you can have my virgin daughter, and you can have his concubine.
Mm-hmm. You can either have my virgin daughter, or in the alternative, you can have my guest concubine.
We never heard anything more about the virgin daughter.
No, apparently they didn't want her.
But it doesn't really say, but they took the concubine, raped her, she came back, died right on the doorstep, or at least passed out. Mm-hmm. And then the next day, the Levite put her on his donkey and went home. And then got home and chopped up her body into 12 pieces and sent one piece to each of the tribes of Israel. And that's where we are now. And we were all supposed to think about that.
Yes. I just want to add one little correction. When you say they raped her all night long. Every man had a chance at her.
We don't know. We don't know what happened. All that we know is that they took her, and I think the Bible says abused her. Mm-hmm. I don't know the exact word that was used, but all night, mm-hmm. And then the next morning she got up and got her hand, I think, up on the door knob and just collapsed. That's all we know. And then he said, "Get up, we're going." Yeah. And she was unresponsive, and we don't know whether she was dead or alive at that point. But he put her on his donkey and went home. And then chopped up her body. And I guess all the 12 tribes, including the tribe of Benjamin, I guess, got a rotting piece of flesh somehow.
Yeah.
Delivered to them.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, he was in the land of the tribe of Benjamite. He could have just left a piece there.
Yeah.
Saved.
Yeah, I don't know how they worked out all the logistics of the whole thing, but they got that done, I guess.
Okay. So now we're moving on to Judges 20, verse 1. All the Israelites assembled before the Lord in Mizpah, along with the entire population of Israel and 400,000 soldiers. All right, yeah. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's pretty impossible. Have everybody in Israel arrive at one point before the Lord, and along with the 400,000 soldiers. But that's what happened.
So Mizpah is a place where the Levite lived, maybe?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a place kind of central location in Israel.
Okay. So everybody had to travel to get there.
Yeah,
okay. Right.
Okay, verse 3. All the children of Israel said, "What is this wickedness?" So I guess they'd heard about, what is this?
They got the body part.
Everybody had the body part, and they held it up, or the 12 tribes did, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And the Levite, the husband of the woman that was killed, said, "I came to Gibeah," that belongs to Benjamin, "with my concubine to look for a place to stay. And the men of Gibeah tried to kill me, but raped and killed my concubine instead." Really?
Yeah, that's not exactly what happened. Notice that he's called the husband of the woman.
Yeah.
So the concubine, I guess, is considered his wife. But yeah, he's not being completely honest here. That's not exactly what happened.
You didn't add these words in there.
No. This is
Okay.
exactly what's in the text, as close as I could come to it.
Okay.
But he came there,
Yeah.
but they didn't
Threatened to kill him.
threaten to kill him. They wanted to have sex with him.
Uh-huh.
And his host said, "Hey, here's my daughter, and here's his concubine." And he didn't say anything. Say, "You can't have my concubine."
No.
He didn't say anything. He didn't do anything to protect her.
No.
So it seems to me that he shares in the blame of this whole situation. He and his host.
Yeah.
But in verse 6, then, after he says that, he says, "So I cut my concubine into pieces and sent the pieces throughout Israel."
You are all Israelites. What should be done about this?
When the Israelites heard this, all of the Israelites, including the 400,000 soldiers, said the following words in complete unison. None of us will go
to
home.
war. Oops, sorry. Go ahead. We can't say it in unison, you and I.
We can't. We should try it again.
Okay.
Okay.
None of us will go home. We will take
10%. That's too much.
Yes.
It's not possible for two of us to do it. I don't think all million of them could do it together. But we will take 10% of our men to fight against Gibeah of Benjamin.
But Steve, aren't they there? Aren't the Benjamites there? They got a piece of the body. They're, all the people.
It sounds
of
like
Israel.
everybody in Israel. That would include all the Benjaminites.
They're sitting in the back all by
I
themselves
don't know.
when they can't really hear.
That part of it doesn't make sense, but
Okay, so the Israelites sent messengers to the tribe of Benjamin, saying, "Deliver to us the men of Gibeah, so that we can put them to death."
But the Benjaminites refused to hand over the children of Belial in the town of Gibeah.
So I guess the Benjaminites were not there.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, because that wouldn't really make sense.
No, it wouldn't.
So the children of Belial, they're the ones who came to the door and asked the host, "Hey, send us out your guests."
That's the bad folks, the SOBs.
Okay, so it's not actually a group.
No, it's just all of the people that came to the door there were bad guys.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the men of Benjamin gathered to fight against the rest of the Israelites. Yeah, I guess they should.
There were 26,000 Benjaminites and 700 soldiers from Gibeah, plus 700 lefties who could sling stones at a hair's breadth and not miss.
What does that mean?
Well, there's something about left-handedness that goes. The tribe of Benjamin tended to be left-handed. Remember Ehud and Eglon? Ehud was delivering the message from God, and he was a left-hander.
Yeah, and he had his sword on the right side or whatever, and he pulled it out, and it was so tricky.
So they made a big deal about him being left-handed, and there was something else that came up where they were left-handed, and they're really good shots.
I guess so.
I mean, they could sling a stone and hit something within a hair's breadth.
That is just so bizarre that they would say that about a whole population.
Yeah.
And against them were 400,000 soldiers from the other tribes of Israel.
The Israelites went to the house of God and asked him, "Which of us should go first to fight Benjamin?"
Because we want all those lefties to hit the other guys.
I guess they're really afraid of those lefties, yeah. They've got 400,000 guys, but they're worried about these 26,000 Benjamites with the 700 lefties.
Yes. So then God said the tribe of Judah should go first. And what does God have against Judah?
I don't know. And why is he involved here? And why doesn't he say,
this is ridiculous.
This isn't really a good idea. But, oh no, he's all in on it.
The Israelites fought the Benjaminites.
But the tribe of Benjamin, with their sharp-shooting lefties, killed 22,000 men.
Of the 400,000 soldiers, I guess.
Yeah. That's a lot of people, though. 22,000.
Yeah, they are really good with those stones.
Yeah.
Then the children of Israel cried all day before the Lord and asked him, "Should we go to war against Benjamin?"
And God said, "Yes, go fight against them."
So God,
just checking. Just ask again. Are you sure we should go? Because he already said they should. Maybe he changed his mind. You never know.
They just wanted an excuse. So
Yeah.
the Israelites fought the Benjaminites again the second day, and another 18,000 Israelites were killed.
Once again, all the Israelites sit and weep all day before God.
And they inquired of the Lord, because they had the Ark of the Covenant there in those days.
Phinehas stood in front of the ark and said, "Should I fight against the children of Benjamin?" I guess he means, should Israel fight against the children of Benjamin?
But me in particular also.
I guess, what is so weird here is this is Phinehas.
Yeah, who is Phinehas again?
Phinehas, the last we heard about Phinehas, he was the one who impaled that couple back when the Israelites were having sex with the daughters of Moab. Remember back in Numbers?
Oh, yeah. And then there was one woman who was not a Moabite. She was a Midianite. And then God said, go kill all the Midianites.
Exactly. So that was Numbers chapter 25. So this was back during the Exodus, at the end of the Exodus.
Okay.
Before they arrived in the Promised Land, before Moses had died.
Uh-huh.
Phinehas was the grandson of Aaron. If this story is true, and if it happened, if it's not out of place,
how old would Phinehas be?
He would be over 400 years old.
Okay.
So, which is possible, this is the Bible.
Yes, but God stopped making them that old, didn't he?
He
at
did.
Some point?
Yeah, he'd be a very, very old man, even by biblical standards. At this point, so either that's the case, or the story is out of place, and it should have been either in Joshua or maybe at the beginning of Judges, when Joshua is still alive. That would make sense. But certainly not now.
Yeah, and it is kind of a story that really doesn't have other tentacles into the time there. You could just kind of take a Levite goes to a town.
Right. It could be a story that would take place at any time, really. We don't really know when. But since it's after all the other 19 chapters, after Samson and after Gideon and all the other judges of Israel, you would think it would take place at the time, the place where it occurs, right?
Yeah.
But that either can't be, or Phinehas is a very old man, or there is one other possibility, and that is that it's another Phinehas.
Oh, a different Phinehas.
It could be, but there's no explanation of where he came from. He just shows up here
Phinehas.
and talking to God.
Well, and you know how I say this story could be in other parts? I mean, this story kind of is Sodom.
Yeah, that's right. It isn't Sodom, but it is the same story as Sodom.
Yes.
And it just shows up out of nowhere, just like Phinehas does. So who knows?
Okay.
Little sidetrack there.
Yes, sorry. We're going to get back to this story.
No, that's okay. But so Phinehas asked God, should we fight against the children of Benjamin? Like they haven't just asked God twice before. And he said, yeah.
Yeah. And then God said, what do you think God said, Steve?
I think he's going to say, yeah, sure, go do it. Tomorrow I will deliver them into your hand.
That's the phrase they needed to hear from God.
Yeah, he never said that before. He just said, yeah, go do it.
Yeah. And they're going,
Here
okay, but are you going to be on our side?
Yeah.
So the children of Israel fought against Benjamin.
And God smote the tribe of Benjamin, helping the Israelites kill 25,100 men.
That's about all they got there, isn't it? Aren't they 26,000 men?
Which is weird, because didn't we say there was 26,000 or something like that at the beginning?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so now we'll continue this story here.
Okay.
It gets kind of muddled, and I didn't include all of it.
Okay, so verse 37. Then the Israelites killed everyone in the city of Gibeah with the edge of a sword. Well, they almost already had killed everybody.
And it says in verse 47,
but 600 men survived from the tribe of Benjamin.
So that kind of makes a little bit of sense. The math almost works out there. They had 26,000 soldiers, I guess, to start with. Plus the 700 lefties. I don't know how that works. But anyway, they killed almost all of them, but 600 survived.
All right. I'll just take it face value there.
Okay.
600 men survived. I think we need that fact for
we do for the next chapter.
Okay. The Israelites then killed all the men, animals, and everything they could find in every Benjamite city. Then they burned the cities to the ground. I mean, they just wanted to wipe everything out.
Yeah, it was complete genocide, including the animals.
Jeepers. But you notice they never say the word women and children.
Sometimes they do. Here they don't, but they say everyone. And we'll see later that it was everyone.
Oh.
I mean, it was everyone being, there were no
Survivors.
females that survived.
Oh.
We do have the 600 men.
Oh, yeah.
Which is going to lead us into the next and final chapter and episode from Judges.
Okay.
Which we'll have next.
All right. Well, thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
And thanks, listeners. Bye-bye.
Bye.